Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is CryptoVatsik. Nothing of what you're about to see is considered financial advice. Okay, today I'm going to cover Matic and I'm going to go through all the technical analysis. So first off, I'd like to start off as to why I think that Matic was very strong relative to other altcoins in the market. Okay, and similar to Ethereum, it had a similar pattern to what we see here. Okay, so we had this bearish consolidation. We broke down, we made our macro low, and then we struggled to break above that area of resistance until we finally did, and then coming up into this range. And if I zoom out onto the monthly, you can see it very clearly here. Is this market structure break, okay, clearly on this down candle, invalidated by this big up candle, market structure break, and ultimately retest here on this wick. Okay, so that is what set the stage for this nice move up, because the trend shifted to an uptrend at that point, right, out of this downtrend on a high time frame. Then we made, after that breakout, our swing high. Okay, we came all the way up here, made our swing high, and then our swing low. Boom, that formed this range that we've got here. And there's some confluence with this target from over here. Okay, this previous swing high on this minor relief that we got lining up nicely with this swing high. Okay, so we came up, we swept that previous high, and then having confluence, that is our range high upper band formed right there with a range low down here. And then ultimately, shortly after, making these swing failure patterns right here, okay, and this deviation above the upper band, another SFP. Okay, so two SFPs, not able to continue the trend. Price was stalling. And I'm sure if we bring up RSI, there was some signal. Here we go. So bearish divergence, making higher highs in price and lower highs in RSI. Okay. And just one more area of confluence here with this high as a target. The reason why I point these out is because they're really just targets. After this breakout, you got to have somewhere to look to target if you had gotten long on the breakout, right? So it's just good to look back and evaluate this and understand it. And so I like to talk about origins of breakdowns a lot, right? And so there was an origin, a minor origin of breakdown right here where we made our low here, bounced off support, and then bounced again here, trying to maintain that level of support at the time until it broke down and led to our next low here. So really ultimately what we're just doing over here is we're just sweeping that origin from back there, okay? And so it was an SFP, we came right back inside to the range. So then we came back inside the range, okay? We're playing around the mid-range, the equilibrium, the 50th percentile as support, okay, as resistance, minor temporarily as support, resistance, resistance, okay? And so if you're looking to get long in this range, it was a nice, there was some nice scalps in here for sure. And so if you're looking to get long, I think that a lot of people would have been stopped out on that candle right there. And the reason is because most of their stops would have been just below the bottom band of the range, right? So basically just below their stop loss would be there, saying that support, if it doesn't hold that, it's invalidated. My trade is, a thesis is violated, so to speak, and that it's a deviation, right? And then it came right back up, regained that level. So just to note, how do you get away from deviations like this, right? If your stop loss is below that wick here, sort of thing, how do you get away from that? So one of the things is, you'll hear it, people say it often, is wait for confirmation. And so what do they mean by that? And really, it's true. You got to wait for confirmation. As we're starting to come down, okay, we're making these higher lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? And so say in here you're saying, oh, okay, I'm going to get long. We're touching demand. I want to get long, but you didn't wait for that confirmation of the market structure break, right? And what I mean by that is this big red candle here invalidated by this big up candle here, breaking that market structure of lower highs. We got lower high and lower high, okay? And then we made a higher high here and broke this market structure with a bullish retest and a nice reaction right off of it. And so that was your confirmation to take a long, right? Confirmation that the trend has shifted to an uptrend. And though we chopped around in here, we never breached that low, okay? And so basically if you're getting long on a retest here, then your risk your stop loss is here and your risk is this area right here. But anyways, hindsight's 2020. So then what did we do after? Okay, yeah, your target one would be at least the mid range, and target two may be top of the range, right? So what did we see now? We saw that shift in that trend to the upside, and we saw it because we started making higher lows, right? So off this low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Okay, and so that is a uptrend. That's the definition of uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. This was a swing failure pattern here, okay? Unable to break above the mid-range, okay, and ultimately make a significant higher high compared to this high. However, that's exactly what we did here. This was not an SFP, okay? This is a clear breakout and retest of that mid-range, okay? So this was a major trigger. This was a major SR flip here, okay, when we made this move, another trigger to get long on the flip of that mid-range, okay? And on this move, clearly you'd want to target the range high, then as your target one, and then ultimately up here, your target two up here, okay? And that was a major base formed up here on a macro level that we have formed for quite some time. And then again, like I said, origin of the breakdown right here, okay? So where did we break down from that level? Right here, ultimately coming up and just almost touching it with this wick here at this point, okay? So again, you're probably saying hindsight's 2020. How does that help me right now trade what we're currently seeing? Well, let's get into that right now. Let's flip down to the 4 hour. Okay, so there's a lot you can read from this price action right here. Okay, so wicks often like to get filled up. And so this is a nasty wick for sure. And I really didn't like it when I started looking at the price before this video. We really started dumping hard actually. But my point that I was going to make before even we started dumping was I didn't like this wick. I did expect that we'd probably come up and fill it pretty quickly. And the reason being is because there's a lot of late buyers up here, late shorters. Sorry, late shorters down here, but we'll get into that. Late buyers up here, right? False breakout buyers up here that are quickly underwater, and they're basically just looking to unload their position and sell. Okay, and so that's what happened, right? And so basically they're either breaking even or they're coming back up, and then there's supply in this wick that was able to really push price back down. So we filled in that wick. Usually they typically fill in about 75% of the wick body. So we filled the wick in, and then we got our SFP right here. Okay, failed to continue the trend, failed to break above that high, and obviously pushing price right back down. But at this point, with this drop, we've seriously broken market structure on a lower time frame. I'm sure we broke market structure somewhere in this wick here. All right, on this up move here. I'm sure right on that wick, probably lost market structure. I'm not going to zoom in right now to the 30-minute or whatever, but then you could see the retest on this wick. So this wick got bought all the way back up, and then the next candle was green temporarily, but ultimately was just a bearish, right? Just a bearish relief right here on that wick before coming back down. So target to short on a lower time frame in there, but ultimately on this higher time frame or mid time frame on the 4 hour, we've broken the market structure. It's ugly. We've broken that level. So it's quite ugly. And if we get any sort of push back into somewhere in this level here, I would be looking to short that back down to the breakout level, original breakout level of the upper band of this range here. And keep in mind, we might not even get that kind of relief, right? The market is dropping pretty quickly here, pretty nasty, pretty sharp. So, you can see there's some buyback happening right here. Yeah, potentially we get some buyback into this level here, deviation above, and then again, I'd still be looking to short on a break of market structure to the downside, right? So basically, when you make higher highs like this, okay, and then you get that break, retest, short right here. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking for at this point to come back down ultimately to the breakout of that SR level. Again, we've got some inefficiency right in this body of the candle there that is starting to get eaten up. Wouldn't be surprised if more of it does. And I'd be invalidated above this level right here. Okay, what is that? $1.32. So if we get above, I'll make it really thick. If we get above $1.32, I will change my bias. Okay, I will change my bias pretty quickly to bullish. But I just don't. If it's going with my gut instinct, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I do think we're going to at least come back down and retest at the least. Okay, at the least play around in here some more. And so if this was our macro bottom, if this is generational cycle bottom, I'd at least expect some more reaccumulation in this area before breaking up and continuing. Okay, I really do think that is more of a realistic scenario, because I think we're coming to the end of this bear market rally. It's been a very nice push, but I don't think up here is where you want to be getting uber bullish right into supply, right into major resistance that we had for months here, back in March, February, March kind of time. This is, in my opinion, kind of the end of the rally, and I'd be invalidated. I'd be okay being invalidated, and then maybe bull market's back on. But just the way things are looking, I'd be personally looking more on the short side, or just learning a new skill during the bear market, if you're looking for something to do. And I think, like I said, at the very least, that this is going to come back down, retest, and we'll have to see. I'm not going to predict price too far into the future, but it's a good sign for the next cycle too, right? The fact that Matic had this amount of strength in the bear market compared to the altcoin market, relative strength was there, and it's a good sign to. It's a good thing to keep in mind for the next cycle. You want to look at those coins that are those assets that are doing strong in the bear market, and ask yourself, why is that, and what does that mean for the next bull run, right? Anyways, I want to thank you all very much for joining. I do really appreciate the engagement, the likes, and comments. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please give me a like to support the channel, and if you do enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be posting as much as I can during this bear market and into the bull market. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you found it helpful. We will see you on the next one. Bye.